Hello all. In this lecture we will see system testing. So after all the units of the program have been after performing this integration testing, so after performing this unit testing we will do this integration testing. After all the modules have performed the integration testing, what we do is we will do the system testing. So system testing is to validate the fully developed system. So it is actually to validate the fully developed system to assure that it meets the requirements. All the whatever requirements that are specified in the SRS document will be tested in this system testing. So if we have written some functional requirements and non-functional requirements in the SRS, all those functional requirements and the non-functional requirements will be tested in system during this system testing. So this system testing can be carried out in three ways. First one is alpha testing. In alpha testing, what we do is system testing is carried out by the test team within the developing organization. So if there is an organization that is developing the product, they will be testing this. That same test team will be testing it. Then it is known as alpha testing. Then second type of testing is beta testing. Here the testing is performed by a select group of friendly customers. So usually when some software like operating system like Windows is released, they will release the beta version of the software and it will be given to some friendly customers. Even when you are using WhatsApp and all, WhatsApp has a beta set of beta testers. So that whenever some modification is done, that beta version will be released first. So those customers will be testing it. Friendly customers will be testing it and they will be reporting these bugs and all. Then only they will, after that only they will be releasing the final version of the software. Then we have acceptance testing. So this is done, system testing is performed by the customer to determine whether he should accept the delivery of the subsystem. So this is done at the site, at the customer site. So if you are developing a campus management software, first the alpha testing will be done by the organization. So if there is a company who is developing a campus management software, they will be testing that system. Then it is known as alpha testing. Then that campus management software will be given to some other friendly customers. So they will test that software. Then it is known as beta testing. And finally, it will be implemented in some particular college. If it is a college automation system, that software will be implemented in a particular college and some testing will be done at the customer site. Then it is known as acceptance testing. Okay. So we can classify this system testing as functionality test case. So here we have to test the functional requirements are satisfied in the SRS. So whatever functional requirements that are written in the SRS should be satisfied in the functionalities test case. Then we have performance test cases where we have to test the conformance of the system with non-functional requirements of the SRS. So both the functional requirements and the non-functional requirements in the SRS will be tested in system testing. So we have different system testing. So we will see one by one. First one is smoke testing. So before this is done before system testing is performed. That is, we try to simply give some random inputs and check whether some of the functionalities are working. So that's known as smoke testing. We call it as smoke testing. So this smoke testing is done before initializing the system testing. This is to ensure system testing will be meaningful. So few test cases are designed to check some basic functionalities. So if you are developing some library automation system, so what we do is smoke test. What smoke test will do is we will check whether some books can be added or deleted, or some new user can be added, or some new user can be deleted from the system, or some books can be borrowed, or books can be returned. Like that, some test cases will be generated, some random test cases, and we will be checking the system. Then after that only we will start a whole system testing. Then this is known as smoke testing. Then second type of testing is known as performance testing. So here performance testing is carried out to check whether the system meets the non-functional requirements identified in the SRS. So we have different performance testing, stress testing, volume testing is there, configuration testing is there, compatibility testing is there, regression testing, recovery testing, then maintenance testing, documentation testing, usability testing. So all these tests come under performance testing, and this performance testing comes under system testing. So we will see one by one. First one is stress testing. So it is also known as endurance testing. Stress testing is also known as endurance testing. It evaluates the system performance when it is stressed for shorter periods of time. That is, we will give some short periods of stress to the software. That is, if we have built the software such that it supports 1 million users at a time and per second, if we can handle 1 million users per second, we will simply try to simulate 1 million users at a time to check whether it is working properly at that stress, or if there is some capabilities for data volume or data rate or processing time or utilization of memory. All this will be tested using this stress testing. So we will stress the system for small periods of time. So these stress tests are black box tests actually. So it is designed to impose a range of abnormal and illegal input conditions. So it is to stress the capabilities of the software. So we will try to stress the software. We try to put some stress on the software and test the software. Then second is volume testing. So volume testing checks whether the data structures have been designed to handle extraordinary situations. If there is some array, we will check whether overflow, what happens if there is some overflow occurs, array overflow or array out of bound occurs. We will try to check the volume, or the data structures will be checked in volume testing. For example, a compiler might be tested to check whether the symbol table overflows. What we do is we try to compile a large program so that there will be a large number of symbols that will be generated in the symbol table. So if that overflow, all those symbols can be cached, then there is no caught, then there won't be any problem with the software. Then next is configuration testing. So it is used to analyze system behavior in various hardware and software configurations. So if you have mentioned that this software will work in various software, different hardware and software configuration, we have to test all those software and hardwares. So we will try to install the software in this different hardware and software, and we try to check whether it is working properly. So it defines a minimal set system to serve a single user. So other extension configurations to serve additional users will also be tested. So initially we will be mentioning that minimum requirement to run the software is this. So we try to add some other configuration and we will try to test it. So check if the system behaves correctly in all required configurations. The next type of performance testing is compatibility testing. So this is required when the system interfaces with other types of subsystems. So if it is integrated with some other database, or if this system is accessing some other server, we need to check whether it is compatible. So it is known as compatibility check. So it aims to check whether the interface functions perform as required. So if the system needs to communicate with a large database to retrieve info, compatibility testing is required to test the speed and accuracy of that data retrieval. Then next is regression testing. So this is required when the system is an upgradation of an existing system. That is, if you have fixed some bugs or if you have fixed some errors, then what we do is we will perform this regression testing. That is, we try to again test using the same test cases. So if we fix some bugs or enhance functionality or performance, then we have to perform this regression testing. So what we do is we run an old test suite after each change or after each bug fix. So we will use the same old test suite and again we will perform this testing. This is known as regression testing. So this ensures that no new bug has been introduced. So next is recovery testing. So this is required when a software is maintained. This is required when it tests the response of the system to the presence of faults or loss of power or devices, some services, data, etc. So whether that system actually recovers from power failure, whether if some printer gets disconnected, whether that system recovers from that failure. So if you are giving some print operation and if you remove that printer, what happens to the software? So check if the system recovers satisfactorily. For example, the printer can be disconnected to check if the system hangs. So this is known as recovery testing. So we try to remove the device or we try to remove the communication. If it is if we have network communication, we try to remove the network cable and check whether if the system gets hang or crashes. Then we have maintenance testing. So what we do is there will be some diagnostic programs. So whenever a software is started, there will be some diagnostic programs to check whether that software is working properly. For example, if you are having some banking software, whenever they initializes in the morning at 9:30 a.m., there will be some diagnostic programs that will be checking the whole software. So maintenance testing is to check those diagnostic programs. So it also tests other procedures that are required to be developed to help maintenance of the system. So verify that the artifacts exist and they perform properly. Then we have documentation testing. This is we have to check the user manual, maintenance manual, technical manual, and exist and they are all consistent with the other documents. So this is known as documentation testing. Then we have usability testing. We have to check the user interface. If it is a graphical user interface, we have to check whether that interface is working properly and whether it is meeting all the requirements as specified in the SRS. We will check for display screens, all the report formats, everything will be tested in usability testing. Then we have security testing also. Security testing will handle the confidential data. If there is some confidential data that should be guarded, we will check whether that is all the confidential data is hidden or all the authentication authorization is working properly. Then error seeding. So what we do in error seeding is what we try to do is we try to seed the code with some known errors. We will add some errors to the lines of code and check whether the system some artificial errors are introduced into the program, and number of these seeded errors is determined. Let n be the total number of defects, and let n of these defects can be found out by testing. And let S be the total number of seeded defects, and let S of small s be the defects to be found during testing. Then we will find this ratio n by n equal to S by S. So what we do is we try to add some errors into the software. So we know some errors, we know what all errors are there, and we try to add some errors into the software and we will check this ratio. So here n is the number of defects that can be found by testing, and n is the actual number of defects, and S is the defects that are found during testing, and capital S is the total number of seeded defects. So we will try to find out this ratio, or we can calculate capital N, that is the total number of defects, as S into n by S. So defects still remaining after testing. Even after performing this testing, some of the defects might go unnoticed. that is given by n minus n equal to n into s minus s by s. So if that n minus n value is very high, that means most of the defects have not been found out. So we have to again design some test cases and we have to reduce that ratio. So this is all about testing. Thank you.